Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Psicast. I'm your host, Robert Marsi, and I'm joined here with none other. Do I have to announce him? You know who he is. Just say hello, Bill.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Good. So, what do we got lined up for this program, Bill? Because there's some exciting.
We're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna talk about a book that's not even on the market yet for another couple days, anyway. Which we really don't usually do this kind of thing, but we're going to do it anyway. Because we need to do a Psicast, and this is perfect. Because it actually fits in with that whole genre of stuff we do.
Oh, yeah.
The book's called Demagogy. Might have mispronounced that, but I don't care. Modern Metaphysical Mentalism by Elijah Barlow. Now, Robert, you may have remembered meeting Elijah. I know you didn't meet him in Miami. That was the time you had your tooth banged out on you. But I think you met him. He was in Vegas the same time we were doing, I think, Vegas 1.
Yes, the first Vegas, yes.
Yeah, remember the first Vegas where when we met Alexander in the afternoon for a bit. Mm-hmm. Then you took off part of the gig and went over to meet your buddy out there. Went over to Hooters, came back half smashed. Later that night, we ran into this guy.
Oh, my God, and was he a treat. And we never talked about this, so this is the first time you guys are actually hearing about this story, okay?
Yeah, this is Vegas 1. Robert hits Vegas. He starts, having a few drinks. I think he started drinking on the plane. Just because, what else is there to do? 30,000 feet and 5 hours later, that was the year I was on the 12 out of Cincinnati, 4-hour flight to Denver followed by another 12. It was like 30 hours, man.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I had to spend the night in Cincy because they gave me the wrong flight time. They said p.m. and it was actually a.m. That's lovely. And then I get to fly to Denver for a 12-hour layover, so I'm hanging out in the little lounge up in Denver for, half a day. That's when I met you in Denver. Remember, because you had to fly to, what was it? You went to Cleveland, to Detroit, to, San Francisco, to Denver or some shit. It was stupid, man.
Oh, it was. That was one of the worst flights ever.
Yeah, and then we jumped the same plane going to Vegas, which was just ridiculous. But you had, a 7-hour layover in Denver, and I'm, stuck in Denver. I've already been there for, 5-6 hours.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, but eventually we got there on the same flight.
Yeah, and then then we ran into Alex, Mr. Alexander. And then, because he was on his way to California.
Uh-huh.
And we ran into him, and he stopped by Vegas for, a day or a couple days to, just screw off before he flew out on his trip.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then the following year, we ended up doing an event with Alex in Vegas. But that was that first year that, we met Elijah. Remember, Alex called me in the afternoon. Said, hey, I'm wherever. I think we were at Bellagio or something.
No, Caesar's Palace. Yeah, we were at Bellagio, and we met up with Alex at Caesar's Palace. Yeah,
we met up with Alex at Caesar's Palace. Then we met Elijah over, I think, the Winds.
Yes.
Remember, because we had to jump that little monorail thing over towards the Bellagio.
Mm-hmm.
That weird one, the one that's hidden upstairs. It's got the Jimmy Trail artwork, and you climb up.
Yeah.
Climb up the steps and the mall's got the Jimmy Trail artwork, and the one that's got the steps takes us over to the other one. If you've been there, you know what we're talking about. And that's right after that we ran into his cat, and he's one of the proponents of metaphysical mentalism. That's what he does out. He was at that time. I think he was actually in San Francisco. Just came over to Vegas to screw off for a couple of days.
Uh-huh.
But then, and then that's when you met him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I hung out with him again when I went down to Miami for a minute. When I was down there with Aldi and Alex.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've been trying to get this guy put out a book for a while.
Right.
Right?
I mean, me and Bill were trying to pick this guy's brain, okay? And he was hesitant at first, but then eventually after talking to him for a while, then he started to let up, and then before we know him, like, hey, this guy's on the same level as we are. You know?
Well, yeah, I kind of knew that from earlier because I did some gigs with him, some psychic fairs and shit out west.
Mm-hmm.
He was in it. We kind of tell. We kind of knew each other from that a bit, not real well, but I mean, well enough to exchange phone numbers and contact information and shit like that.
Right.
We were both basically working the same group of people, and you could tell we were working. I mean, it's because the other guys weren't making any money. We were. We're not even going to talk about that event. That event was a little big.
Yeah.
Like way too many damn people at that thing. But anyway, so
yeah.
I think he was doing, I can't remember if that was the event he was speaking in or was the other one. He was doing a speaking thing and I was speaking in the next room or whatever. Some of these fairs we do.
He was doing the other one. He was doing the other event next door.
Is that what he said? Yeah. Because, I'm talking about the one I did in Arizona.
No, okay.
That was before we...
Right.
Back when I'm fucking banging that's a whole town. I mean, it's just...
Oh.
Big. Big. Way too many people, Give me 5,000 to 20,000 people coming through a weekend, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm good by myself. But when you throw in 50 to 60 to 100,000, it's off the hook.
Oh, for sure.
Things are week long. Haven't done that one in a while though. I might want to go do that again this year. It's a good fair.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually a gym and mineral show, but there's a lot of other things going on in that particular fair. Didn't get my Adobe back. Stayed in a little Adobe. Hot buddy of mine owns, so it's pretty nice. He's like, hey, just stay at the house, man. We'll get you covered. Cool. Considering his house is basically, walk outside, there's the fair. Good shit. Yeah, so the new book, let's get on with that, and it's about 60 pages. Kind of printed like an old Nelson manuscript in a way. It's about the way I could state it, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Got that kind of binding style. So it's not like a hardcover, or, you may do a hardcover later. We finally got him to do one. That was pretty incredible. And we'll see how this goes. Because I like him to do a couple other books in the future, just for the sake of recording, what he's done, how he's done it, and this kind of thing. Because that particular archive, except for like me and maybe Finley and a couple other guys, is pretty thin,
Uh-huh.
Because we're learning this stuff from people that we know that taught us some things, and we taught other people, and, added to it, changed it around. I mean, there's a big, long history of this stuff, and this is the way it was passed through, So like in my case, early 80s, Elizabeth Kelly's teaching me a few things, and then I'm studying under Dwayne and a few other people, so kind of gets passed down this very strange trail.
Uh-huh.
And then you start picking up, and Ken taught me some stuff, and then you start picking up things along the way, and then incorporating how you do that with this and that, and it starts becoming a melting pot, which is actually kind of cool, because you're not stuck into one tradition or one idea or one way of doing things. You have a lot more freedom this way,
Uh-huh.
Unlike the way they do in mentalism, where you're pretty much, well, I'm a student of Cordia. You're a student of shit, that's what you are. Oh, yeah, I had enough of that kind of mentalism, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
It's the same thing, rehash. Let's rehash this. Dude, it's so boring now, you know. That's why I get excited when I see something new. Like this book. Okay? You know, because it's approaching mentalism from a point of view, just plain and real. Right?
Right.
And then you got, you know, the non-effect work. The whole idea of the non-effect, where you actually do the effect, but you may or may not use the actual outcome of the effect. It's kind of an interesting concept. You know, Elijah was one of the big founders and promoters of that concept, along with, you know, our buddy Ali.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, Elijah, I mean, goes back on that concept quite a bit, and actually in this book, which was the reason it's so cool, is he gets into that. Right? Now, I'm not going to give you all the book's information, right? Because that'd be pointless. But, you know, he talks about, he usually has a review of the metaphysical markets, been using gigs, got a really nice piece in here on understanding oracles, kind of explaining what they are, you know what I mean, and how to use it type thing, right? Creating the Metaphysical New Age program, understanding how to give a basic reading, the Demagogy. That's the basic reading, you know what I'm saying? Right. If you're familiar with this term, you'd understand what I'm talking about already. And then he gives you some ideas to implement readings during the programs, general advice and advice for business. And now, second two is where it gets kind of interesting, right? Mm-hmm. Because in second two, he starts to define this elusive thing called non-effects, as he called it. Then, you know, using effects in metaphysical communities. Now, here he's actually talking about using mentalist approaches, but not actually mentalism. Okay? Even though some of the effects he's going to mention are just that, right? They are mentalism, okay? But it's not the way you perceive it. It's a different approach. If you're used to, you know, I have them write something down, then I peek it and I tell them what it says. Well, that's not mentalism.
Right.
Do I need to say that again?
No. I mean, it should be obvious.
Yeah, just want to make sure they got it right. You know, a little sidetrack. They're trying to define the term mentalism, but they don't want to use any of the previous terms to define the new term of mentalism.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's your problem. It's agreed upon term when they change the terms. We're not agreed upon anything, actually. So there's your problem.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because half of them say it should be this, the other half are saying it's this. Well, you know, there's no agreement there, really. So we're a long way from defining that particular term, you know. Because you know, me and you both know that mentalism incorporates the psychological aspects, the philosophical aspects, like the early mentalists worked, right? You know, back in the turn of the century when they were talking about mentalism. You know, actually mentalism as in a form of philosophy. God damn, people read. That was comment was for one particular individual. You know who you are. But then it gets into some, you know, pendulum stuff, some rose force reading, which is actually quite elegant. Evocation of first-time gambits, crystal color flame question and answering. That's actually kind of a neat little piece. You got to read that one for yourself. It's got something in here called the Seven Gallery reading, which is actually kind of cool, actually.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because it's not exactly what you thought it was, but it is what you think it is. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's got a group healing thing and pendulum answering. I don't know if this is going to be I got an early copy of the book. Because my name's mentioned in it a couple times. but not for reasons you would think either. But let me get into like some of this here. Just briefly. I don't want to get into too much, but I'm sorry, I gotta. Now, this guy, I will say he does something a little bit. He's not necessarily doing a lot of shop reading. He does do some fair stuff, but what he does is a lot of private parties. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So when you read certain sections like about the always available gigs thing, he basically says he limits himself to semi-affluent and semi-affluent women's parties. Okay? Just so you know where he's coming from. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
He prefers a lot of the higher-end tea parties and this kind of thing, which have, can't blame him there.
No.
And he's well-versed. You can tell he's just going through this. You can tell he's well-versed in traditional mentalism more than the stuff that came around in the 80s, 90s, 2000s. He's read quite extensively,
Mm-hmm.
I know he's bought some rare books off me in the past. I bought some of my Nelson stuff and some Fantini and a few other guys, but he likes some of this stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm trying to do like multiple things at the same time, so bear with me. I'm trying to give you what I can of this without getting into too much detail. But he has studied my work, he studied Finley's work, he studied Webster's work, studied a bit of Riggs stuff. I mean, there's several of us he studied, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
In the modern age. But he's also studied a lot of the more obscure classical guys that were doing basically what we're doing today. But, guys won't say they exist because they don't want to, upset their god Houdini. Just saying.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you could tell, Bill, that he's definitely really knowledgeable about his craft. But the one trait that I really noticed about him is that he's really, truly passionate about this kind of stuff that we do. He's really passionate. I mean,
yeah. I mean, you can tell when he went to he's went to my lectures. I went to his lectures.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the stuff in there you may recognize from some of the stuff I've taught on my previous audio programs. And he's giving you some different points on those too, as well, because he uses the same stuff. Yeah. Man, because he understands why you use it, and that's rare, in my opinion. A lot of times we don't see, well, especially with the stuff we put out, we don't actually hear about it. We don't give much feedback, so we don't get the reply,
Uh-huh. Right.
Yeah, he talks about the non-effect being, while giving a group its experiences without the typical ta-da moment,
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense, because it's a lot stronger than oil. I can't tell you too much because it'll be wrong, but I can give you a few pointers. There's a really nice pendulum thing in here that I really liked because it combines actually several elements, which is actually kind of interesting, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, it combines actually several things, actually. I don't want to say what they are, but it does combine some very interesting stuff together to create a new device in a way, which was kind of interesting. There was that pendulum thing I mentioned. And then since it's in the non-effect category, you could use the information obtained or not. If you don't need it, don't use it, right?
Mm-hmm.
This particular piece I thought was quite nice. Gemstone Psychometry.
Uh-huh.
This is one of his, this thing, God, man, this thing's really cool. I can't give you too much about it, but I'm going to give you what I can. It's Gemstone Psychometry. He uses this in his ladies' evenings, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the version you're getting here is kind of a shortened version, but this, this is part of his longer presentation. Okay, this is actually one of the workshops he does. This is one piece. It's an entire workshop, which is, in a way, a lot like what I teach, you know what I mean? From that aspect where we give you, here's the shortened version, but you can extend this into a longer version.
Mm-hmm.
It's that kind of stuff. It's a Gemstone Psychometry. It's really a great piece. Really easy to manage and do if you're already familiar with certain basics of that type of thing. But then the way he spelled it out is where you can clarify how to do this or that way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Yeah, well, you met him. So you know what he's talking about. But how you can tweak it to make it more alive and more dynamic. A lot of people do this gemstone rating, but they want to apply all this other non-needed stuff to it, and that's, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Kind of like when a lot of the guys, I'm not really sure how to explain that. A lot of times when it's like, I'll have to get back to that. Now let me give you a couple of other things because I don't think it's actually in here. Crystal color flame, question and answering. We're going to move on to that. You can get MSL crystals out of Arkansas for this. Okay. So that's just what I'm going to say right there.
Mm-hmm.
One of the mines will hook you up with all the stones you need to do this particular routine with, without having to go to your metaphysical store and paying $10 a piece for them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can get them pretty cheap out of Arkansas for that. I like the 7 gallery reading. I thought that was really cool. I like that crystal piece. That crystal piece is something I would use, but I would use a different variant of it just to fit my needs. But let me get down to flipping through here. Taking a while. It's only about 60 pages or so. Let me get down to the recommended reading and studying material, right? Encyclopedia of Mentalism, Sensational Answers, Effective Answers to Questions, The Art of Cold Reading, Health Services, and Mental Horoscope page from Nelson. I know a lot of mentalists that haven't even read that.
Uh-huh.
Those works, right? They should. Yeah, they should have read them. And then he lists some of my works. We're not going to get into me. He listed some really cool works from Mystic Alexandria, by the way. Ganjun, Astroglomancy, Cartomancy Overnight. That was a really cool piece. Tingsha Offering, Tick Sheet Extraordinary, The Moments of Silence audio program. That's the one we did with him. But the Tingsha Offering and Cartomancy Overnight, yeah, those were great. Great. Ganjun was good. He talks about some of John Riggs' stuff, too, in this. Karmic Palmistry and Runic Palmistry. Those are actually John St. Germain works. Cradle to the Grave DVD series, From Beyond the Grave DVD series, and The Mastermind, the complete writings of John Riggs, parts 1 and 2. That was an expensive little collection right there, but they're great. You know what I'm saying? And my all-time favorite guy of all writers of magic. Actually, he has I really got to hand it to him for this, because a lot of people have never ever bothered to read this. Okay. You know, like I said, outside the Bizarrist community, the Bizarrist community love this work. A lot of mentalists have never read this work, and a lot of the guys that do the crossover stuff have never read this work. Baba Gita Nebo's Voodoo Magic. That is a great fucking work. Just straight up great work. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Extraordinary work. He mentions a couple of works from our buddy Scryer, Black and White and Band of Readers. I would also say, like, you know, Scryer and Friends and about everything else Scryer put out, but Webster's got a couple works listed I think were, you know, interesting. Well, like psychometry, it is the quick and effective cold reading, revealing hands, Chinese numerology, right? Yeah, pretty much thumbs up. He listed some works from Ron Martin, Larry Balkin, or Martin Balkin, you know, the cold reading book. But he also, you know, primarily mentioned the Tarot Reader's Notebook and Palm Reader's Notebook. I don't understand why, you know, like Ron Martin and Larry Balkin works aren't being read more, right? Well, I mean, yeah, I understand the price is like $200 for cold reading, you know, the classic book of techniques from Martin Balkin, the combo book they put out, the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you knew what that cost to print, you wouldn't complain about $200. And he mentions a couple works from Finley, you know, Grill Q&A 1 and 2, Psychic Directions, and that beautiful piece that you like, Thought Dial. Talks about, you know, in here, mentions a little bit of Orman McGill stuff for the Psychic Magic series. So those were great. Talks about George Anderson, you know, the infamous guy that gave us the psychological force. And he's only listed like 4 of his books. I'd say read them all. And he mentioned another name right at the end. And I really like the fact that he even, you know, has read this, Rudy T. Hunter's book, Draw Me a Tree. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, that list should give you an idea where he's coming from. I'm going to get out of my office. I'm tired of my office. I need a beach. God, I need a beach. But, I mean, that should give you an idea of where he's coming from on all this. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. If you've read that kind of collection, right? You know, I know he owns that kind of collection too. You've read that stuff. You've studied that stuff. And then you're basing your ideas from metaphysics, not necessarily upon that material, but, you know, that was some of the roots of that material. Yeah, you're definitely on the right track. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know too many people that even knew who Rudy T. Hunter is, or anything else. Right? I mean, that's almost like one of those names that gets blown into obscurity, which it should have never been that obscure. And a lot of guys yell, you know, they don't want to talk about George Anderson. But yet they, you know, they jump up and down and yell, what's the best psychological force? Have you ever read George Anderson?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, how about, you know, why wouldn't you want to start with the first word that started the whole idea of psychological forcing?
True.
Right? Why wouldn't you want to start with that? Because by starting with that, then you move up in the 70s and 80s with Larry Becker's idea on psychological forces, right?
Uh-huh.
You go from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. But you see a progression there of how these things start to develop and how they can be modified based on that original ideas from George Anderson. But no, we don't want to do that. We want to read our psychological forces from some fucking magician that knows how to do sponge balls. And you wonder why I'm bitter and cynical.
Yeah. See.
Right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't know about you, but that drives me personally nuts.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because I read the guy's books on both, right? His spongeball work is extraordinary. His mentalism works not so much. This is what I'm talking about. And that's why I like this work, because it's from a guy that actually works in those fields, and he's writing it up and talking about his stuff that he does in those fields, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes this work so special and kind of unique in a way, is because he's talking about what he does, how he does it. Sometimes it's sometimes it's how he approaches the thing, even though he doesn't use a word like approach, but you can tell there's an approach there. And mainly to his given market, okay? Ladies, high-end cocktail parties and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Very, very cool, right? Because everything, see, when we read this stuff, like me and you read this stuff, we read it from a different perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
What perspective I'm looking for is, well, do you know your material, and how do you use it in your market, right?
Right.
Because we already know the demographics and the psychographics of, like, the Ohio markets that we primarily work a lot of times are different than those in Sacramento, New York, California, Nevada, and Florida, right?
Mm-hmm. Completely.
So what I like about this is you got this, like, Californian, Miami, ocean kind of vibe to it. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I don't know how to say that any other way. It's not like a surfer type thing, but you can tell he was working the metaphysical markets by just some of the phrasing he uses in areas like Miami, California. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Almost kind of like a warmer climate. Got water. We don't have, I got water today. It rained like a bitch. Cold, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible. Terrible weather here. But really, overall, pretty cool work. Definitely recommended. See, when it releases, I'll post up some information on, like, where to get it and stuff like that. He's still kind of hesitant on a few issues. Is it ready to go? Is it not? But a couple more days, he'll get over and put it out. So.
Uh-huh.
So already went to the printer. He's waiting on the printer to get it back to him or whatever. It's pretty typical, You've done books like this before, what the screwball delay is, because printers are lazy. They had this thing for 3 weeks and still nothing, But that's typical.
Right.
Just typical. Oh, well, we had to do this thing because, this 2-page color thing for his grandma, and it took 4 days. And, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, really?
Really? Freaking quit trying to adjust the image and print the image he gave you. How's that? Morons. You already know I don't like printers anyway. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we never get them to do anything. Got $500,000 worth of print equipment, and they don't even want to use it. Unbelievable. But no, I mean, really cool book. But you remember, I mean, going back to the Vegas at one, you remember hanging out with him. He was interesting, dude. I mean,
yeah. I mean, like
that's where the whole crux of the thing is, you know?
Uh-huh.
Now, I don't know if all that interest that we had, you know, our conversations with him, is in this book, which I don't think it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I read it. I mean, a lot of it's there. And there's some new stuff in there that I thought was really cool, but there's still a few pieces that were like, I want to call him out on this. You made references to those things that we're thinking of, okay? They are not in this book.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Right.
I mean, they're kind of there, but it's kind of like read between the lines kind of thing, you know?
Uh-huh.
But hopefully that he's just holding those back for, you know, a second book or a separate publication or something, because those were pretty strong pieces. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, that's a little bit of an inside conversation between us, but you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Because that one piece is really cool. The one he did for the chicks. That was sitting next to us, and I don't know where the fuck we were. I think it was at the Wynn, but it may have been, you know, one of the connecting casinos. They kind of all joined together at some point. You know what I'm saying? We're in like one lounge, and then we're in the next lounge, and I'm not really sure where we're at.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that one, the group of girls that were sitting next to us, we were grabbing I think I was at it might have been a Starbucks. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? It's been a while.
I mean, because when I hung out with him in Miami, man, I was proud of Cuban coffee.
Uh-huh.
You know, what should be shared for 8 people? I ordered 2 and drank them myself. I was looking for a third. God, that's some good coffee. Yeah, I got a thing for coffee, you know that.
Yeah, Bill likes to drink buckets of coffee every day.
Especially the Cuban. The Cuban coffee is great, man. It's strong. Compared with some of the better coffees, but yeah, there's an approach there that that I really like. You know, he does have a way with those. He really does have it. The effects do really appeal. I don't know. Let's say it that way. I'm gonna say it this way. The effects really do appeal to women. I mean, they really do work really well with ladies. I mean, what more can I say? I mean, you saw him work that group of girls.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I mean, if I only had half of what the type of performance that he's got. I mean, me and Bill were looking at each other like, huh? We're like, what are we missing here?
There is an approach there that is very different than the way we would approach. Now, we would approach it coming out like RSD Nation and a few other things, you know what I'm saying? Which is very, very valid, very workable. And then come down to the metaphysical stuff, but, man, that approach is genius. I mean, the guys don't listen to this, they'll have no idea what the hell we're talking about, but too bad, so sad.
Yeah.
But because it's almost an approach that you think we thought, what was your first thought? They're going to punk him, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna boot his ass right off that table, man. And now, Oh, no. Now they loved him. He's so cute. Jesus, man. I missed that one in fucking school. I've used it since, but yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, but
it's so counterintuitive. It's not anything you thought it would be. You know, it's not like the punk pickup lines or any of that crap. It's so subtle, but it's so kind of quirky in a way.
Right.
It's not degrading. It's not, you know, whatever you're thinking, like, you know, because I mentioned RSD. It's none of that.
No.
I mean, if you know RSD, it's got that kind of feel to it, but it's not that. It's really kind of, it's kind of a genius little ploy there. Well, they I don't know, they like it, which is odd.
Yeah, but really, I mean, really cool cat.
Yeah, because I was on like 20 cups of Starbucks, and I had a few gin and tonics, and you know we're pretty much there. Yeah. I remember that night we didn't get back till like 4 or 5 in the morning, and to get up like 8 or whatever it was Vegas time.
I
think it was 4 or 5 our time and not Vegas time, so we were all screwed up. I remember can I go to the show? Fuck, I need coffee.
Yeah.
And then we went over to what was it Treasure Island that day we got coffee? Or was that Vegas?
I think so.
Yeah, it was one. No, we went to New York. They had the one downstairs.
Yeah.
We went to Luxor, went upstairs, got some to eat, got some Starbucks, and then we had to stop, you know, because I was out of coffee. By the time we got to New York, and still had to walk up to that Dean Martin Way there to the magic shop to do a thing. Yeah, it was crazy. Vegas gets to be kind of a blur because you can go from one casino to the next one. And if you do it right, you don't even have to leave the one casino. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we figured that out. You know, it was a lot easier to get around. You know what I mean? We could just go, we're there. We pop out one side door and up an escalator or up stairs and on a trolley. We're there, you know?
Well, we're there.
But you don't see that until you like go out and explore. That's what we didn't do the last time. That bummed me out. We got to get back to Vegas.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know if I'm going to do an event. We definitely need to get back just to go screw around. Sounds too much fun.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we got to.
Yeah, we got to find something to do. Do you have any other products you want to talk about this week since we took up all the time on Elijah?
Not that I know. I haven't seen anything new that's come out that really caught my attention. The whole industry is just almost like on chill mode. Everybody's just chilling. Nothing's coming out.
Yeah, I didn't see much. I mean, I haven't seen much. Stevens ran their first auction. Stevens Magic Emporium ran the first auction last week, a couple days ago, whatever it was. I got outbid, but, you know, that's all right.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens. But that was kind of cool because he had a nice mix of stuff. Psychokinetic pen was kind of cool, which is Almanac was in there. Pretty good price, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they had some nice stuff in there. There was a pretty decent opening bid levels. I mean, you know, I think some of the things didn't get the reserve met, but, you know, that's how it goes, you know.
Right.
You know, there's a deal price and there's a deal price, you know. It's But the prices overall were fair. The quality was really nice. And there were some fairly obscure pieces in there. It was a small auction, only like 20 items or something. But it had some really cool stuff in that mix. You know, and then, well, Joe always gets that great vintage stuff, too, you know. The prices are right on it, too. I mean, I think he still got the spirit hand, which surprises me, you know. You guys need a spirit hand, that's the one to buy. Figure. Why? Because you don't have to age it. It's already 80 years old and in mint shape. It's perfect. But, you know, they want some half-baked thing that acts like a spirit hand. It's not really a spirit hand. I don't get that either. I did want to say, did I talk about the Zeke Power Show?
No.
Okay, yeah, on the last episode, right, I went to the Zeke Power Show. It was at a VFW thing. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. If you guys get a chance, go check out Zeke. You may have heard him earlier in the year. We did a podcast with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I actually got to see him do a couple of those routines. But it was not bad. Not bad. It was pretty cool. Kind of nice to see, you know, live magic actually going down in the area again. It's few and far between.
Uh-huh.
That was on Friday the 13th of October. That was a pretty good Friday, actually. So that was fun.
Nice.
Got to hang out with the boy Zeke for a minute. So that was nice, you know.
Uh-huh.
Came in from the Carolinas or Georgia or something to do the show. Pretty good drive. But, you know, yeah, it was a good show. I definitely say if you're in your neighborhood and it's a public show, go check it out. It's worth seeing. Had a pretty nice looking little stage setup too. You know, got some good humor in there. It's pretty cool. But that's really about it. I mean, I just want to talk about the new book because, you know, it's new. We get so little stuff that's geared towards what we would consider actual mentalism in our vein. It's, you know, why not talk about it?
Yeah, do us a favor. I mean, you know, check it out. It will definitely be worth your while. Like I said, you know, when me and Bill were talking to him and everything and the ideas that we were throwing back and forth, I mean, it was like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you'll hear, you know, I mean, you'll see it if you're knowledgeable on this stuff. You'll see, like, you know, elements of this guy, that guy, and that guy. But when you look at the core of the thing, it's not any of those. You know?
Yeah.
It's not any of those things. But it's there, but it's not there, which is nice. That's always where we like to be in that. You know, is it real or is it not real? Do we know? Not really. Kind of form of mentalism, you know?
Right.
We like that blurred, very blurry line. He's really good at it. You know, he's pretty good at it. So we might try to get him on a Psicast later in the year, but he's usually working, so, you know. Freaking guy does women's parties 5 nights a week.
Yeah.
Pretty good little backlog.
That?
Yeah. I don't know where he said I talked to him the other day. I don't know where he said he was going. He said he wants somebody to do a women's party. But yeah, I mean, you're not going to find him online. It's one of the, actually, let's talk about that for a second because it's kind of important. He just got onto Facebook. We finally got him on Facebook, by the way. You already got a friend request and everything. But most of you won't, you know who he is. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
He basically looks pretty heavy and metaphysical, but he's finally going out into the social media crowd. We didn't do that for years. You know, we told him about, I think it was you that told him about, you know, get on social media, you know, some form, you know, to up your booking. It's like I'm already booked. You know what I'm saying? He was already booked for like a year. I mean, can't really argue with that. It works like we do.
Yeah.
All the time, you know.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, he's finally on. He is on Facebook now. If you're on my friends list, you might see him in that friends list. Send request, let him know you know me or whatever. So he knows who you are. But I think he's going to set that. I think he set that up mainly for some of the ladies who wanted to be, you know, who are on Facebook that book him, you know, regularly, want to have an easier way to get a hold of him, you know. Mainly, I think they just want to, you know, be able to text him, hey, you want to do our party this week? Phone. And the girls are getting together and having another party. Jesus Christ, man. He's not honest with the girls he's working for. Jesus Christ, he's great.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, they like entertainment, and they like to throw lavish parties. It's very cool. Here's a statement that none of you will understand. I got a Scott Gibbs painting. Scott Gibbs is now in my collection of artworks. Very nice. One of his cheers. Yeah, I was looking at it while I was talking to you. I'm actually looking damn fun on the wall. Needs to go to the archive. Yeah, very cool. I don't know if a lot of you know anything about art, but he was a studio assistant for Keith Haring for a bit, George Condo, and Julian Chauvel in Glasgow. And he was actually studio assistant with Chauvel when Chauvel blew up back on the art market. Very cool. Yeah, I like it. Still trying to decipher half of it. And the painting is actually a conversation that me and him had on one night. So it's all like broken up letters and spaces of letters. I'm trying to reconstruct the conversation through the painting. It's actually quite remarkable. But yeah, it's an interesting concept anyway. But yeah, I definitely agree. One thing I really do agree with is his recommended reading list.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because, I mean, where we're at, we already assume these guys already read these, you know? All these works. Well, that's probably not really the case, though, you know? Mm-hmm. Actually, the more I think about it now, you know, you should have read them. You know, you were instructed to read them, but I don't think they actually read them. So, and I think that's where some of our problem comes into play. You know, especially with like the Nelson stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That should have been read 20 years ago. Or 10 years ago when he started. Now it just baffles me. Why anybody wouldn't read the foundations of what they're getting ready to get into as a profession.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, the yell and scream will work from a guy that actually doesn't work. What? Still don't get it. Anyway, did you see the new piece? There is something else new. Tom Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
Got a couple new artifacts out on the market.
Oh, cool.
Really pretty clean looking stuff. I don't remember what they're called. I saw them the other day briefly. One's a sandwich.
You know what? Yeah, I think
sandwich card thing. It was actually pretty clean, but you don't see one of the moves in there is actually pretty, I think, new, actually. I think it's brand new, actually. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Some of it I recognized, some of it I didn't, so that was unusual, you know?
Yeah, he's got the Invisible Palm revisited.
Right. He finally published his work on that. That came out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks or 3 weeks. There's a newer piece in that, but yeah, interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Some of you guys that follow the Psicast also follow Tom's work, so you probably understand it, so we don't need to go into too much of the detail, but it is mentionable. Just because of Tommy.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah, we should probably mention that. It's been a while since we did one of these. Dioramanon from Mystic Alexandre are now available. He's got the instructions. The wood. He's got a couple different versions. He's got some of the wood versions I made for him for that effect. And then he's got some that were professionally made six-sided dice, like your game dice, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple different versions. You got the regular plastic game-type dice. So I guess they look really good. I haven't seen them yet. I'll see them when I get down to Miami. But you have those. You have some really, really fine walnut ones that are infilled. They look great. And this is a natural finish on walnut. Couldn't believe it. Got some cherry in there. I think some zebra wood or something. But yeah, there's a couple different varieties. So if you want one of those psychic epiphany pieces, you might want to drop Mystic Alexandre an email and say, hey, you need to add Ramadan.
Yeah.
Because the PDF on that just came out, too.
Oh, nice.
You know? Yeah. And it's got some really cool stuff in it, how to use it as a reading system, how to use it as a balance system, and a bunch of other stuff in there. So it's only like a 12 or 15-page PDF, but it pretty much covers all the stuff you need to know. You know, plus we got the audio program me and you did a while back. They covered some more of that. I think we did it on the LP device. They got some bonuses. You get that stuff too as a bonus, I think. You got the audio program, PDF, and you'll get one of the dice of your choice. So it's definitely worth doing right there. If you don't have one, contact Alexandre. Because, yeah, he's the one selling them now. And was there anything else? I thought you had something new that came out.
No. Not that I remember.
No, was Doc that had something new? Did you mention Doc had something new coming out?
Yeah, we've already mentioned that, but yeah, he had a couple of new works come out on Penguin, and I think he went back and then he did a show in Columbus. He did like a public performance, and then he recorded a few, instant downloads. One of them, I think it was called The Notes, and
okay,
there was
cool.
Yeah, there was something else on there. So yeah, really good stuff. I mean,
actually tonight, if we weren't doing this, I would probably drove up to Franz Harari's. I think it was tonight.
Oh yes, Franz Harari.
Yeah, but I'm so busy I can barely get away to do this.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. With Franz Harari, you can actually get those the Penguin Lives for free. You can get his first one and the second one, which is tonight, for absolutely no cost.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely no cost whatsoever. And then I think tonight, the one he's doing tonight, that one he's going to give you a sneak peek, backstage view of some of the stuff that he's doing. So you do not want to miss that.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool because one of our buddies we had on the Psicast was friends with Franz.
Yeah. If those of you who don't know, Franz, I mean, he's an illusionist, but really cool. He made the space shuttle in Cape Canaveral disappear. It was on one of the magic specials. I think it was the first World's Greatest Magic in the 90s. He made the Luxor disappear in its entirety. A lot of really big, cool stuff. But he's got a lot of good thinking. Well, he's a nice guy too. He's got a nice approach to big illusions, which is kind of different than a lot of people, actually. Yeah, because he likes to think bigger, than anybody else. He thinks on a bigger level. Yeah, but
it's the way he executes it too. He does the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different approach.
Oh yeah.
It works, man. I gotta say, it works.
Yeah, you can't beat his approach. I mean, it's awesome.
And he's designed a lot of the illusions that have become mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because, I mean, he's one of the. I'm not a big magic illusion guy. I'm more of a mentalist kind of guy. But you know, I do like watching some of that. I really like watching Franz.
Yeah.
He's just a fun guy to, you know. I'd be interested to hear what he has to say about the stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Which is a little different than a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know the first one that he did with Penguin Life, he didn't. There were no tricks explained. It was just, you know, basically talking about the business and the performance side of the art. But so tonight,
that's why we love Franz, baby.
Exactly. But tonight, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, a lot of guys would, you know, rather see a bunch of tricks. I'd rather see less tricks and more, you know, other information.
Yeah, more engaging talk about the business side and performance side of the craft.
Yeah, because I mean, remember when the guys were complaining about Jack Keller 10?
Oh, yeah.
What are you complaining about? He was in Tarbell.
Yeah.
Tarbell 7? Blitzer effect?
Mm-hmm.
Did that affect all you motherfuckers were doing? Yeah. Him.
Yeah.
Music director for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Come on, dude. I want to hear some of that shit. Cool. We got some of that, too. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. He wrote the song, Let's All Go to the Lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. And get ourselves some snacks. That's him.
I know.
Yeah.
The one did the arrangement. Was it the arrangement on Willy Wonka?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, music director, yeah. He was putting together the arrangements and all the Oompa Loompa tunes and all that stuff in some kind of order that, you know, made the film. Classic film.
What?
You know, I mean, that made me so outrageous, man. That made me so outrageous. Oh, look, candy mushrooms. Wallpaper you can lick. It's just drug innuendo after drug innuendo. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Snosberry,
sure.
Think like snosberries. Yeah, brought back days of my youth. Yeah, well, what a great concept. Do a kids movie, you know. Here's a big LSD trip. Yeah.
You know, the everlasting gobstopper. Everybody wanted one. You know, I mean, obviously, I mean, you can't get a candy like that. They do make everlasting gobstoppers, but they don't. They're not everlasting. Okay.
Especially if you just lick the wallpaper. Yeah.
Right.
And they don't. Little dude singing Oompa Loompa. Yeah. Shit was about LSD, man.
Yep. Total.
The goddamn movie was about eating hallucinogens.
Total acid trip, man. Oh my God! But well, I mean, it's a great classic, and that's the thing, you know. Yeah, I hate to say this, but they just don't make movies like they used to.
Anymore, movies are any good.
Exactly. You know. Yeah, I think Seinfeld and Chris Rock said it best: is that political correctness is killing entertainment. And they're right. You know.
Well, it's killed. There's no scripts anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that? The new Tom Hanks film with Hermione Granger.
No, I haven't I haven't seen that one.
About mind control, watching everybody being watched and everything.
Yeah,
that was the closest to the film we got this year. Pretty sad.
Yeah.
Pretty sad.
Yeah.
But I remember watching some great film, man.
Yeah.
Well, I still go back and watch film noir. I like a plot with my storyline.
Right. Clifford brought to my attention that Seinfeld is back on the tube, but now he's got a deal going through Netflix, and but no politics whatsoever. He's going back to the way comedy used to be, So, and then that's what's really cool. That's what I like,
Yeah. I don't watch that much TV, so.
Yeah. So.
I figured there's better things to do.
Right.
Especially when you get some major universities like Edinburgh, Yale, Oxford, Harvard, and you get those professors putting up live lectures,
Mhm.
Putting lectures on YouTube and stuff.
Right.
God, man, it's an education you can't buy for under $250,000. I mean, you don't necessarily get to ask questions, but the information's there.
Yeah.
It's a better use of my time than watching some of that propaganda crap.
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense. Oh, great. What agenda are we pushing now? Thanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it for this one. We'll get back to, after I get back off of, I should have a short break after Miami, then I got a short break, and then I got a couple other fairs to do, so we'll try to get another Psicast or two in before the end of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
Because what episode are we on now, do you know?
I believe this one's 21.
21? Okay.
21.
So that's not bad. We're trying to keep up on the, weekly, bi-weekly schedule, but our schedules.
Sure. It's almost next to impossible.
It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that may be the time that you have the gigs in Chicago, so we might be December before we actually get back on.
Yeah. Exactly.
We'll try to fit something in late November, middle November, or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the first week in November is already shot, unless we do it. Yeah, we might be able to do that. We might be able to, if I get a breakup in Miami, we might be able to do one from Casadega.
Right.
That'll be on a Sunday.